Welcome to the Procurement Professional channel. This is Ashraf Saleh, who will explain the CIPS L4 methodology. We are still explaining the first book of L4M1. L4M1, Scope of Influence of Procurement and Supply. In the previous lectures we finished explaining Chapter 1, Understand and Analyze the Added Value that can be achieved through procurement and supply chain management. We explained 1.1, Compare the concepts of procurement and supply chain management. Then 1.2, Analyze the different sources of added value in procurement and supply. Today we will continue with 1.3, Describe the categories of spend that an organization may purchase. Organizations typically categorize their spending into several key areas to better manage and optimize their procurement processes. Here are the main categories of spend. Procurement classifications: tangible, intangible, fixed, variable, stock, non-stock, direct, indirect, CapEx, services, utility, commodity. Previously, we explained tangible and intangible. We said tangible like products and intangible like services. Today, we will continue with the procurement classifications. 1.3.1 Typical breakdown of organizational costs represented by procurement of goods, services, and constructional works. Fixed and variable costs. Understanding fixed and variable costs is crucial for managing an organization's finances effectively. Here's a breakdown of each. Fixed costs. Definition: costs that remain constant regardless of the level of production or business activity. Examples: rent, payments for office or factory space. Salaries, fixed wages for permanent staff. Depreciation, the gradual reduction in value of assets like machinery and buildings. Insurance, regular premiums for business insurance policies. Variable costs. Definition: costs that vary directly with the level of production or business activity. Examples: raw materials, costs for materials that increase with production volume. Utilities, electricity, water, and gas usage that fluctuate with production levels. Commission, payments to sales staff based on sales performance. Shipping, costs for delivering products which increase with the number of units sold. Key differences. Behavior, fixed costs do not change with production levels, while variable costs do. Impact on pricing. Understanding these costs helps in setting prices that cover all expenses and generate profit. Budgeting. Fixed costs are easier to predict and budget for, while variable costs require more dynamic management. Together, fixed costs and variable costs make up the total costs of the organization. It can be seen that as the output increases, the fixed costs remain the same. However, at the same time, the variable costs rise, and this turn causes the total cost of the organization to rise. Direct and indirect costs. Understanding direct and indirect costs is essential for effective financial management. Here's a breakdown of each. Direct costs. Definition: expenses that can be directly attributed to a specific product, project, or department. Examples: raw materials, materials used in the production of goods. Direct labor, wages for employees who work directly on the production line. Manufacturing supplies, items used specifically in the production process. Indirect costs. Definition: expenses that are not directly linked to a specific product, project, or department, but are necessary for the overall operation of the business. Examples: utilities, electricity, water, and gas used across the entire facility. Rent, cost of leasing office or factory space. Administrative salaries, wages for staff who support the business operations but are not directly involved in production. Office supplies, general supplies used by the entire organization. Key differences. Attribution. Direct costs can be easily traced to a specific cost object, while indirect costs are spread across multiple cost objects. Cost behavior. Direct costs are often variable, changing with the level of production, whereas indirect costs can be both fixed and variable. Each organization's costs are different. It is clear from the diagram above that if procurement are controlling the expenditure or raw materials and capital purchases, they have an opportunity to influence the profitability and success of an organization. Or, in public sector organization, to ensure that funds are spent wisely and value for money are achieved. Let's move to the second point. 1.3.2. Stock and non-stock procurement. Stock and non-stock items procurement. In procurement, understanding the difference between stock and non-stock items is crucial for effective inventory management. Here's a breakdown of each. Stock items. Definition: items that are regularly kept in inventory and are essential for day-to-day operations. Characteristics: regular monitoring. These items are closely tracked and replenished as needed. High usage frequency. They are used frequently and are critical to the business's operations. Examples: office supplies, raw materials, and finished goods. Non-stock items. Definition: items that are not regularly kept in inventory and are ordered on an as-needed basis. Characteristics: irregular demand. These items are used infrequently or for specific projects. Flexible procurement. They are procured only when required, which helps in reducing storage costs. Examples: specialized tools, spare parts, and unique materials needed for occasional projects. Key differences. Inventory management. Stock items require constant monitoring and regular replenishment, while non-stock items are managed on a case-by-case basis. Storage. Stock items need dedicated storage space, whereas non-stock items may not require extensive storage facilities. Procurement process. Stock items follow a routine procurement process, while non-stock items involve a more flexible and responsive approach. Let's move to the third point. 1.3.3. Direct and indirect procurement. Direct and indirect procurement. Direct and indirect procurement are two essential aspects of an organization's purchasing strategy, each serving different purposes. Here's a detailed look at both. Direct procurement. Definition: the process of acquiring goods, materials, and services that are directly used in the production of a company's products or services. Characteristics: core to business operations. These purchases are integral to the production process and directly impact the final product. Examples: raw materials, components, and parts used in manufacturing, such as steel for car manufacturing or flour for a bakery. Impact on cost of goods sold, COGS. Direct procurement affects the COGS and consequently the company's profitability. The Kraljic matrix can be used to help manage the supplier relationships associated with each type of procurement. The Kraljic matrix is a strategic tool used in procurement and supply chain management to segment a company's purchases or suppliers based on two key dimensions: the complexity or risk of the supply market and the importance of the purchases or suppliers to the company. This segmentation helps companies develop optimal purchasing strategies for different types of items or suppliers. The four quadrants of the Kraljic matrix. 1. Non-critical items. These are low-risk, low-impact items. The goal here is to maximize efficiency and reduce administrative burden, often through standardization and automation. 2. Leverage items. These items are important, but come from low-risk markets. Companies can use their purchasing power to negotiate better terms and prices. 3. Bottleneck items. These have a low impact on the company's profitability, but come from high-risk markets. The focus should be on ensuring supply continuity, often through long-term contracts or developing alternative suppliers. 4. Strategic items. These are high-impact and high-risk items. Managing these requires close supplier relationships, continuous market monitoring, and strategic partnerships. How to use the Kraljic matrix. 1. Classify items. Identify and categorize all items or suppliers based on their risk and impact. 2. Develop strategies. Create tailored strategies for each quadrant to optimize procurement and mitigate risks. 3. Implement and monitor. Apply the strategies and continuously monitor the market and supplier performance to adjust as needed. Indirect procurement. Definition: the process of acquiring goods and services that support the organization's operations but are not directly involved in the production process. Characteristics: supportive role. These purchases are necessary for day-to-day operations but do not directly contribute to the final product. Examples: office supplies, IT services, maintenance services, and utilities. Impact on operating expenses. Indirect procurement affects the company's operating expenses rather than the COGS. Key differences. Function. Direct procurement focuses on securing the essential supplies for production, while indirect procurement deals with the goods and services needed for operational support. Impact. Direct procurement has a direct impact on the production process and profitability, whereas indirect procurement influences operational efficiency and cost management. Let's move to the fourth point. 1.3.4 Capital purchases and operational expenditures. Understanding the difference between capital purchases, CapEx, and operational expenses, OpEx, is crucial for effective financial management. Here's a detailed breakdown. Capital purchases, CapEx. Definition: major investments in assets that will provide value over the long term. Characteristics: long-term use. These assets are used over several years. High initial cost, typically involves significant upfront expenditure. Depreciation. The cost is spread over the asset's useful life through depreciation. Examples: buildings and land, purchasing or constructing new facilities. Machinery and equipment, buying new machinery for production. Vehicles, acquiring company vehicles. Intangible assets, patents, licenses, and software. Operational expenses, OpEx. Definition: day-to-day expenses required to run the business. Characteristics: short-term use. These expenses are incurred within a single fiscal year. Recurring costs often involve regular ongoing payments. Immediate expense. Costs are expensed in the period they are incurred. Examples: salaries and wages, payments to employees. Rent and utilities, costs for office space and utilities. Office supplies, consumables like paper, pens, and other supplies. Maintenance and repairs, upkeep of equipment and facilities. Key differences. Financial reporting. CapEx is capitalized and reported on the balance sheet, while OpEx is expensed immediately and reported on the income statement. Tax treatment. CapEx cannot be deducted from income for tax purposes in the year of purchase, but OpEx can be deducted in the year they are incurred. Let's move to the fifth point. 1.3.5 Service procurement. Services procurement involves acquiring services from external vendors or suppliers to meet the needs of an organization. This type of procurement is essential for various business functions and can include a wide range of services. Here are some key aspects. What is services procurement? Services procurement is the process of requisitioning people-based services at an enterprise level with an agreed-upon scope and deliverables. It involves strategic outsourcing of labor to individuals or organizations for specific purposes. Types of services procured. Professional services, consulting, legal advice, accounting, and marketing services. Technical services, IT support, software development, and technical consulting. Maintenance services, facility management, equipment maintenance, and repair services. Specialty services, engineering support, web design, and creative services. Key components. Statement of work, SOW, a detailed document outlining the scope, deliverables, timelines, and responsibilities of both parties. Master Services Agreement, MSA, a contract that governs the overall relationship between the organization and the service provider, often including multiple SOWs. Benefits of services procurement. Cost savings through competitive bidding, contract negotiations, and efficient supplier management. Quality improvement by tracking supplier performance and optimizing the procurement process. Flexibility allows organizations to scale services up or down based on demand without the need for long-term commitments. Challenges. Complexity. Managing multiple service providers and contracts can be complex. Compliance. Ensuring all services meet regulatory and organizational standards. Visibility. Maintaining clear visibility over all service-related expenditures and performance. By effectively managing services procurement, organizations can optimize their operations, reduce costs, and improve service quality. Let's move to the sixth point. 1.36 Utility procurement. Utility procurement, also known as energy procurement, involves sourcing the necessary energy resources for an organization. This process is crucial for managing costs, ensuring reliable energy supply, and meeting sustainability goals. Here are some key aspects. What is utility procurement? Utility procurement is the strategic process of sourcing electric power, natural gas, renewable energy, and other energy sources required by an organization. Key components: energy sourcing, electricity, procuring electricity from various suppliers, including traditional and renewable sources. Natural gas, securing natural gas contracts to meet heating and operational needs. Renewable energy, investing in renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower to meet sustainability targets. Benefits of utility procurement. Cost savings. By negotiating competitive rates and optimizing energy use, organizations can significantly reduce their energy costs. Reliability. Ensuring a stable and reliable energy supply to support continuous operations. Sustainability. Meeting corporate social responsibility goals by incorporating renewable energy and improving energy efficiency. Challenges. Market volatility. Navigating the complexities of energy markets and price fluctuations. Regulatory compliance. Keeping up with changing regulations and ensuring all procurement activities are compliant. Supplier management. Managing relationships with multiple energy suppliers and ensuring consistent service quality. By effectively managing utility procurement, organizations can achieve cost savings, ensure reliable energy supply, and meet their sustainability objectives. Let's move to the last point, commodity procurement. Commodity procurement involves the strategic sourcing and acquisition of raw materials and goods that are essential for an organization's operations. This process is crucial for managing costs, ensuring a stable supply, and maintaining quality. Here are some key aspects. What is commodity procurement? Commodity procurement is the process of identifying, sourcing, and acquiring raw materials and goods that are essential for production and operations. The goal is to reduce costs, improve efficiency, and ensure a reliable supply. Key components: market analysis, understanding market trends, analyzing market conditions, price trends, and supply chain dynamics to make informed purchasing decisions. Supplier evaluation, assessing potential suppliers based on reliability, quality, cost, and delivery performance. Strategic sourcing, supplier selection, choosing the best suppliers through competitive bidding and negotiations. Contract management, drafting and managing contracts to secure favorable terms and conditions. Risk management, price volatility, implementing strategies to mitigate the risks associated with fluctuating commodity prices, such as hedging and fixed-price contracts. Supply chain disruptions, developing contingency plans to handle potential disruptions in the supply chain. Sustainability, ethical sourcing, ensuring that commodities are sourced in an environmentally and socially responsible manner. Sustainable practices, incorporating sustainable practices to reduce environmental impact and improve resource efficiency. Benefits of commodity procurement. Cost savings. By negotiating competitive rates and optimizing procurement processes, organizations can achieve significant cost savings. Quality assurance. Ensuring that the procured commodities meet the required quality standards. Supply stability. Maintaining a stable supply of essential materials to avoid production disruptions. Challenges. Market volatility. Navigating the complexities of fluctuating commodity prices and market conditions. Supplier management. Managing relationships with multiple suppliers and ensuring consistent quality and delivery. Regulatory compliance. Ensuring that all procurement activities comply with relevant regulations and standards. We have finished explaining 1.3. Describe the categories of spend that an organization may purchase. Ashraf Saleh was with you from Procurement Professional Channel. We will meet you soon to explain the CIPS L4 methodology.